and scores! Great move by Davies, so this would be something. Oh! Ausgezeichnet! Brian White chips, it'll make it!
It's not half bad for an intro.
Yeah, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah? Well, mate, welcome
Really good.
to the party.
Yeah, happy to be here.
I mean, I guess we should just start by, like, why us? What do
Why
we
me?
have to offer?
A good insight, really. Like, a different insight. Like, you've got the insight of people that regularly watch football, for one, because I feel like a lot of North American fans just show up for the big games. So, you've got the exception. You've got, like, the safe-siders for the Whitecaps that die hard and go every game. But realistically, when you look around in the stadium, it's only the safe-siders that you actually recognize every game. There's always somebody new.
Like, also, there's nothing really like this.
No.
I mean, you've got, for the Premier League, you've got Arsenal Fan TV. You've got Chelsea Fan TV, which really kind of piggybacks off Arsenal Fan TV.
Yeah.
You've got Expressions from Spurs. But, yeah, I mean, there's nothing in the MLS, so why not offer an opinion?
Especially with the rate the MLS is growing at the moment as well. It's funny that we're talking about it because I was just looking at the club values throughout the MLS, and in the last 4 years, the teams have gone from being valued 100 million around there to breaking the 400 million mark. The average is 618 million.
I know, but I mean, I guess you have Inter Miami, which is, I mean, that's the clear front runner.
The second.
Who's highest?
It might be LAFC, you know. I'm not too sure. I saw that Inter Miami are second on the list.
I was going to say, is this going to be like a New York FC piggybacking off those 115 charges in Man City?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess I think the aim of this podcast is going to be centered around the Whitecaps and the MLS.
Sorry, she's gone.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess. What we could look at is, how are our Whitecaps doing? What's going on? What to look forward to? What's going on around the league? And then, we'll kind of just go from there.
Yeah, and maybe people will find our opinions of value. Who knows?
Maybe, or they might just look at it and be, you guys don't know anything about anything.
Yeah, there is.
Your week is piss, and why are we wasting our day?
You both led beer league at best.
Stop talking. I remember you were the guy playing in Burnaby Men's League.
Yeah, the best centre back you've ever seen in Burnaby Men's League.
Division 5, paid to be there.
Yeah, paid to be there. Not paid to be there.
Paid to be there. That's the key. You don't know anything. But, I mean, I guess, what are we on? Match week, what was it? That was 19?
Yeah, so basically the halfway point of the season, right?
Well, you got a bit of an echo there.
Oh.
There we go. Match week 19, and it's a big loss.
And a big loss.
A big loss.
Not even the loss as much as the performance itself.
I mean, you give up a weak goal 7 minutes in.
Yeah.
And then you have Javane Brown throw in a magnificent cross. Ryan Gall gets on the end of it, and then you can see two.
Yeah, like what can you say about it as well? Like the first goal, I want to just add. This I know you like the player, so it might be a bit controversial to even say this. Berhalter, did he turn away from the ball? Did he turn his back and get out of the way of the ball as Noel Buck hits it? I think so. I think he turned his back on that ball and got out of the way. I think he could have blocked that had he stood tall, stood strong, took it in the stomach. It'd have blocked the shot.
Yeah, I think you're right. And as a central midfielder, that's your job.
Yeah,
Like that that has to be blocked, or
yeah,
at least got in the way. I mean, if you put up a decent effort, try and get in front of the ball, it is what it is. Like
yeah,
Takeoko is going to try and get it off of a deflection, maybe try and see it through, but it's pretty hard when you get out of the way
yeah.
and you hit it with pace. Like it's tough.
To be fair, the finish itself, like the actual shot into the top corner, was a very
Perfect.
good goal. Like it was well taken.
And I think that's the frustrating part because the next goal wasn't.
No,
And it's one thing to get beat off of class goals, but when you're giving soft goals like that, it's tough. It's tough to swallow.
see, for the second goal as well. There, I thought for the whole game that Vite was almost chasing nobody. There was nobody who was near. They were just playing around him constantly. For the second goal there, he seemed to have been dragged all the way up the pitch. He'd crossed the halfway line, and the gap in the middle there was just exploited, and they were put straight through. Veselinovic, was he a bit slow to react as well? It's a hard one, right? Like, would you be expecting that ball to come all the way through? Is the problem?
And you're not playing your strong back three.
No.
Blackman is not there. I mean, as much as we've seen Laborda get cooked in these last couple weeks, I feel he's very reliable.
Yeah,
Um, he's not there. You've got Javane Brown and Utvik and then
I do
anchored
like
by
Utvik and his
Veselinovic.
helmet.
Sorry.
I do like Utvik and his helmet. I thought he had a really good second half there.
He's been very good off the bench. It's just hard when you've got Blackman, Veselinovic, and how good Laborda started.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
it's
suppose
hard.
so.
It's Vinny loves this back three.
Yeah, it
Like
won't
he
change.
loves the back three. And I mean the system works when you have wingbacks. Like proper wingbacks. And I think going to your point about Bearhalter and Vita, we come up to the toughest part of the season, which is Copa America.
Hmm.
Because now you're missing Kubas. He's gone for
Who's
Paraguay.
arguably our best player? Like him and Gold between them, I think are our two best players.
100%. And it's kind of interesting because we use a designated player spot on a central defensive midfielder,
Yeah,
which you don't see. So that really should speak to his quality.
yeah.
Um, and, Canada picks up Ali Ahmed to come in.
I know we said some things about Ali Ahmed, about him not tracking back and things, but going forward, his attacking presence and his ability to carry the ball and get past people, that is valuable. He might not track back, he might not do like his defensive workload, but going forward, he is very. I won't even say he's very good, but he is almost like a pain in the ass of defenders. He gets a lot of free kicks and he can draw people in.
he puts up the ball and runs. And I think that's refreshing in this team and
Yeah,
in this system that we like to play.
yeah,
I've noticed in previous seasons, we love to use those right and left channels. Play the ball out wide, throw it across, hope someone gets on the end of it. So it's refreshing to see a player pick the ball up and run. And like
yeah.
you said,
I agree.
he's picking up free kicks. He's drawing defenders out, but he's not tracking back and playing that wing back's position.
Which, when you play in the back three, you have got to get back
That's the
if you have a
thing.
wing back. Because, as we saw against LA, Laborda was playing that right wing back. Ali Ahmed, I think it was Ali Ahmed, wasn't tracking back. And Laborda just kept on getting cooked every time.
Cooked. Absolutely cooked.
I think
And now
3
he's not in the
goals,
team.
goal.
He's not in the team now. He's been dropped. I
Yeah,
mean, Javane Brown is quality. I mean, look at the pass he put into Ryan
yeah.
Gauld. Ryan Gauld finishes that. And you've got Raposo playing a very solid wing back. Like,
And
very
realistically,
solid.
let's not forget, we're going into the game, we had the third best defense in the league, which is pretty decent.
It is. But does it look like that?
Not after that game, it didn't.
New England is last place in
anyway,
the East. This should be 3 points.
yeah, they
If
don't.
not, this should be a point.
Yeah,
Yes, it is a long road trip. I mean, over the season,
3,000 wins.
we're gonna see the Whitecaps Instagram. They're gonna calculate the mileage. We're probably the most traveled team,
Yeah, yeah,
so
most
this
likely.
should be a point,
Yeah, we should be used to it by now.
and we should be. Yeah, that's 100%. This team isn't much different than last year. Attacking, yes. You've got Krylak, you've got Fafa. Predominant of the core is still there.
Even with that there, so going into this game, would you, when you saw the lineup there, so let me just run over the lineup. You've obviously got Takeoka in net, Brown, Veselinovic, Upvik. Then in front of them, Raposo, Vite, Berhalter, and Martins. Gold playing as like the number 10. And then the two attackers of White and Krilich. Krilich.
Whatever.
Yeah. So, like, even with that, I honestly think when you play White and Krilich together, it narrows the pitch down too much because he's not got the legs in him to run the channels, to do the chasing. The same as, say, if you put Pico, White in the middle, and then Gold on the other wing. Like, even in the second half there, after they subbed Pico on for Krilich, it almost seemed like they reverted to more of a 3-5-2 with Gold being able to, like, just pull out to the left-hand side whenever he wanted to.
And I think that's the nice part about playing that 2 caliber striker, where both are going in. You're going to allow Gall to fill the space to create room. Because, I mean, Brian White, he's had a tough go. Last year, you were talking Golden Boot potentially.
Yeah.
This year, it's not going.
No, not yet. But it was late last year.
I mean, it's a striker, right? He could go 5-6 games without a goal, and next thing you know, he's gonna fire off 3 and 4 games, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a confidence thing, right?
Yeah.
Has the service been there? Maybe. He's not finished. That's frustrating. You can tell. He subbed off past games for Krylak, for Fafa. You can tell.
Yeah,
Sartini's there. He's hyping him up. He's putting his confidence in him
yeah,
rather than just full on dropping him, because that chemistry of Gold and White is there.
yeah.
It
That
will always
that
be there.
was all the points that we got last year. Like them two pressing from the front, just running constantly. Like imagine having them as defenders. You're trying to play it from the back, and you've got two players that hurry you at every opportunity. Every time you get the ball, they are on your feet. The amount of goals we got last season from turnovers where they just ran at players and they almost panicked into giving the ball away. That was special. Bringing Krilic in, I think they've almost taken away from that. I feel like the better
Yeah,
position to fill would have been that number 10. Bring in a solid
because
number 10 to play in behind Gold and White.
last year Gold did line up front, right?
Yeah, for most of the year.
Maybe it's the legs. Like, because he's still, when he was lining up front, he was tracking back. I mean, we were
Yeah,
calling him our working class, our MVP,
yeah,
right? So maybe that's the thought, is give a striker for White to maybe build that chemistry with, and
yeah,
have Gold play that 10 role,
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Because his passing, his link up play, I mean, his finishing, he really can do it all.
Yeah.
And I think the more he does it all, the more we risk losing him
Well,
unless
yeah,
we get results.
absolutely. My big thought, though, as well, is I honestly think he's probably, at the moment, maybe the second or third best number 10 in the league. A player in that position and what he does for his club, I think he is. Does a club like Miami, when Messi leaves, come in for
Who's
somebody
actually
that
come out this week and
because
said, "Oh, this will be my last club."
Messi has?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think it
making
was like
goal has
yesterday.
come out this week.
Sorry,
I think making goal has come out this week.
no,
That's
no,
going to be
Messi.
season. I was going to say he's going
Messi's
to
come
be
out,
in Stanley
said,
Park.
"Oh, this will be my last club." Hinting, I mean, not probably at retirement anytime soon, but in the future, like you're not going to see him go back to Barcelona.
See, I understand that he keeps on that he's keeping playing at the moment to obviously keep fit for the Copper and then potentially the World Cup again. I genuinely think with that Argentina squad, if Messi wasn't with a squad and he was just sat at home eating chips and looked like Maradona did when he was 50 in like 2 years, that Argentina squad would still pick him to go just in case they win the World Cup again to get him another medal.
Well, I mean, quality he brings too.
Like, even if it was like, honestly, like Maradona obese, like can't even run down the wings anymore, can't do anything sort of thing, just like lost it, they would still take him to the World Cup with them. It would still be one of the 26. Just
I
because
mean,
of who it is.
you're looking at someone who's done it at the highest level,
Yeah.
even to bring in that dressing room.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you? I would take him until he's in a wheelchair.
Now, look at that, actually. Today, I saw a stat saying Ronaldo is at his 6th European Championship with his country.
Mm-hmm.
6th. That's incredible.
And I mean,
That's
yeah,
24 years.
the level that he's brought to that Inter Miami team. I mean, they win without him. Like they won it this week. They're top of the East,
Yeah.
38 points.
To be fair, I personally talk a lot of shit about Inter Miami because of the team that they've assembled. But seeing them I didn't even see the game, to be fair. Hearing about them win that game with 2 people sent off. I did see the goal at the end. It was just a mad counter attack where I honestly thought the attacker's running down the pitch. He's got another attacker level with him. All he had to do was square it. This attacker is through on goal. If he squares it, he decided to go alone. I genuinely thought he was going to screw it up at the last minute, but he managed to put it around the keeper and score. Fair play to them there for just managing that. Managing to pull it off without your best player on the pitch being 2 men down. That's almost like saying, put some respect on the club. We are decent, regardless of Messi being on or not.
Well, Suarez is gone. He gets called back up to Uruguay.
Did it?
So I saw the promo photo with him and Darwin Núñez.
And Cavani as well.
Núñez gives up the number 9 top for Suarez. And they take the promo photo with Suarez with his hand over the one of Núñez's shirt.
That's
Which,
pretty
to be
cool.
fair, is yeah.
Let me have a look at that.
But I mean, you still have Busquets in the midfield. Jordi Alba somehow playing as a world-class left back still. Prime Barcelona Alba as he came to Vancouver and completely ran the pitch.
Yeah. That was a poor performance by Vancouver, I feel. We were nowhere
And
near what we should have been.
this is kind of what I was hinting at, is now we go into the hardest part of the season. The hardest part of the season, Copa America. All of these lovely international breaks the MLS loves to keep playing through, which I really don't think they should be doing this
Oh, absolutely not.
to attract as high quality players that they want.
No.
And it's tough for say a team like the Whitecaps, because you're going to lose maybe 3-4 players to international call-ups. And we're lucky that it's only Copa America right now. And we only lose 2.
But having said that though, Matt, if it expands and we are then able to attract actual European international players during this 4 weeks of the Euros being on, then players would go as well. So I know what you're saying about it not being attractive to players, but if the league was competitive because it had good players from say Central America and a few more from Europe coming in, kind of like how the Saudis are doing now, if the MLS could do something like that, would it not be attractive to these European players to come here, do the MLS schedule where you play all the way through this time of year? If you've got an international competition that comes up, you leave your MLS side, go to your international side, play that competition. At the end of the season, you still get your 2 months off. Whereas in Europe, you play all season. When your break's meant to be, you are then thrown into an international competition, so you get no time off. Would then players not look at it think about Rafael Varane, all the complaining he's done over the years of how many games that the players have to play. That situation there would be perfect for him. If his international games were wedged right in the middle of his league calendar, it wouldn't be any additional games. It might even be less.
I see what you're saying, but then it leaves your club out to dry.
Yeah, that's the only thing, right? So
this is what we have to navigate now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're without Cubas. Ahmed's gone.
Yeah.
Which I'm not too keen on Ali Ahmed. Yes, like you said earlier, he picks up the ball, he runs. Sartini loves to play him as a wing back. He's not a wing back.
No,
He's
he's
not a
not.
wing back. And it leaves that right side very vulnerable.
It does. I think
And
Raposo is much better suited for it.
he is. And that's the tough part. As an attacking option, you want Ali Ahmed on the field.
Yeah,
You want him on the field, but you don't want him as your wing back.
no, yeah, you've got it bang on the head there. Like, if he could transition into, let's say, a right wing forward,
And that's where he plays.
yeah,
That's what his natural position is. It's almost like, I mean, the comparisons are there. They've always been there to him and Davies based on pace, how he picked up the ball, ran with the ball. Like, you know what I mean? The comparisons were there. Davies slotted into a left back position in at Bayern, and Ali Ahmed cannot do that for Vancouver.
no, no, that's it. Yeah,
He's a great attacker. He's a solid option, but as that wing back position, he's vulnerable.
and then
And
what about the other side? What about Martins on the
well,
left side there,
perfect world, you have Adekube coming back.
who has played? I think I've seen him once this year.
Eh,
He's pulling
injuries,
a
right?
Malasia.
Injuries. We've seen his quality. We know what he brings. He
Yeah,
just needs to get fit. But it is leaving the team. We are vulnerable at the back. And it's showing. If we're dropping points, last place New England, we
yeah.
couldn't even handle the B team of Inter Miami. Like, it's not going well.
No,
And yes, we need to navigate not having two players. That being said, we go into Portland this week. No Crapo and no Kamal Miller. They both get call up to Canada.
still, are they a bigger loss to Portland than Kubas is to Vancouver? Because not having him in the center of midfield there, it's he does the work of Berhalter and Vite together. Like he's that good. I'd say maybe that's
He
why
is
we
that
looked
good.
so bad last night, or not last night. Sorry, on Saturday night, because both of them players were trying to do one job, and realistically, they couldn't do it between them.
Oh, it's a huge loss.
Yeah,
I don't even I don't even think that can be explained enough.
yeah,
It's a massive hole, especially with the vulnerability of how we are in the back line right now. The
yeah.
only thing saving us is legitimately Takaoka and his world class keeping.
Yeah, he was excellent in the second half there. He made some phenomenal stops. There was
And
a
he's
couple in the
always like
60th
that.
minute. Yeah,
I've I haven't felt confident in a keeper since Usted.
I love Dusted.
Like, he was gonna save everything.
Yeah,
Maybe that's my Homer opinion. How much he did for the club. We bring in Crapo. We go through a couple of years there actually with no keeping.
I thought Crapo was very good, but it was obvious. Like he followed Mark DeSantos from Montreal, right?
It was LA, I
So
think.
no. Then he went
Was
to
it?
LA. They went
Oh,
from
right, right.
to LA, but then yeah, Mark DeSantos went there, and as soon as Mark DeSantos left, Crapo was like, "Yeah, that's me too. I'm going."
And he was good. On his day, class.
Yeah,
But when you're letting in soft goals like Crapo was doing, it's tough. It's tough because you don't know who's going to come out on the pitch.
Yeah,
Is it going to be world class Crapo? Or are you going to get a mediocre keeping? Like, what do you?
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's where I feel Takayoko every day. He's showing up, and as weak as we are defensively, he is bailing the team out.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Yeah,
And I mean, it was shown he had some world class saves this weekend, last weekend, but I mean, the it's still dropping points, and I think it's great. Like on your day, you're class, but this is a points game,
yeah. We haven't, like you
and
said, when the copper comes, we haven't got the depth.
it's tough because we don't have the depth. It's taking our depth. Like Bearhalter should be a sub for QBS late in the game.
Yeah,
Um, Javane Brown realistically should be a sub for Ali Ahmed playing that wing back position.
yeah,
I feel our depth is attacking.
yeah. Even Pico has only just come back from the internationals with Haiti as well in the friendlies and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and the age of Pico and Krulek are definitely a factor. They are both in their 30s. Like the that report, we'll get into that afterwards actually, that you sent over. But it's nice to see us going after a young player.
Yeah, what is this? This just came out tonight. It We're pulling our best Chelsea impression
This is 2
going
hours
after
ago.
Brighton players.
Like this is brand new.
$610,000. I mean, this is all hearsay. Let's get the Fabrizio. Here we go.
That's all we need.
That's what we need. $610,000. Mark Leonard, Scottish native. So he signed to Brighton on loan for League One side Northampton Town. Player of the year, 46 games, scored 5 goals, and added 6 assists. And this looks to be a midfielder, which is great. And I think
Yeah,
this is Axel addressing our needs in the midfield.
I think so. In the report there as well, it does say that the Northampton boss said that he thinks that he is the best player to ever wear the jersey for the club. Which I know it's only a League One side, so I'm not getting overly carried away. But let me ask you one question. Paul Mullin of Wrexham is now in League One. Would you have him at the Whitecaps? Yes, you would. That is a League One player.
Well,
You'd have him at the Whitecaps.
technically, we're going to have him in a couple of weeks here.
Not for $75 a ticket, I'm not.
Yes, you would. I think
Let's not even talk about that. That's stressful.
any of those Wrexham players gets into the side. That's
Yeah.
an anomaly.
Yeah. But still, like League One, it's I feel like the championship is more comparable to the MLS. But if you are the best player in League One, surely you can do a good job in the championship is how I'm gonna look at it.
And this is what's interesting is here because the end of the article saying Birmingham City, our favorite,
Yeah, for our boy.
retired the number 22 for a
Yeah, they did,
very
didn't they?
young Jude Bellingham.
For a 16-year-old
Left the
kid.
club at 16-year-old.
Wild.
And then Oxford United also interested. But I mean, this is all speculation. We need the Fabrizio. Here we go. Because who knows, right?
Yeah.
Like this, it just shows that the team is addressing the needs. They
Yeah.
know that our midfield is weak, and they're trying to do something about it.
Yeah. And it's smart as well. Like we say, it's nice to see them looking to invest in somebody young. The guy's 22 years old. So, like, I have an issue with the MLS contracts. The longest contract that
Yeah.
anybody's seen sign in the MLS is like 2 years, which is wild. Like, you get these players and you
Well,
sign them to a 2 year contract, and then it's almost as if they're still tied to the MLS after the contract, but they're not tied to your club. It is bizarre.
I think this is the interesting part of the MLS is it's attracting it still has that retirement league vibe.
Yeah.
2 years for any player, it's not a lot. Young players, it's great. Do you attract the attention that you need to make your move? We've seen it with Atlanta,
Yeah.
um, with the move to Newcastle.
Oh, yeah. Almiron,
It's
right? Was it
yeah,
Almiron? Uh,
Almiron.
yeah. Did
Then you've
Martinez
seen it
not go?
with
Oh, no. Martinez is in Montreal, isn't
and you've seen it with. I mean, New York FC were the first to do it. They bring in via Lampard, Pirlo, 2 years, don't win anything,
he? Yeah.
move on.
Yeah.
LA, the Galaxy do it. Zlatan comes here, talks a load of shit, scores a wonder goal on his debut.
You can't just say Zlatan scores a wonder goal. He scored multiple
M-
wonder goals in this league.
Multiple. I
Multiple
mean,
wonder goals.
like you said, it's 2 years, right? It's
Arguably my
enough to come
favorite player of
over,
all time.
do what you need to do. And I mean, look at Gall now, right? We can thank anybody that he signed an extension because there is no guarantee a player of his caliber stays,
Yeah.
and especially in our market.
That was a 4 year extension that he signed as well, I believe. I think he
Yeah,
signed in 2028,
yeah,
which I don't know what they did or what they said to him or what they've offered him, like keys to the city, like rename the stadium after him when it retires. Like, I don't know, but
he gets
it
the
was
best
worth.
parking spot.
Yeah, free parking downtown for the rest of his life.
I mean, that's the reality, right?
Yeah, we haven't had a player who lifts the team so much in a way that he does. I think ever. Like, the
No, we
whole
haven't.
team is better when he is on the pitch. He adds
He
so much
just,
to it. It's unbelievable.
it's the quality he brings. It's the passing, the link up play, his vision, everything you just said.
The tracking back, yeah, the defensive side of his workload, like, what game was that? That might have been a few weeks back. I can't remember the game exactly, but it showed the attacking midfielders heat map from the other side, and it was like mainly down the left hand side of the pitch on the attacking side of the pitch. Then it showed Ryan Gold's heat map, and man, it was the whole pitch. Like, it was just covered.
Yeah,
Like, there is nowhere on the pitch that he will not go for the team.
yeah.
It's You don't get
And
that in many people, many players.
you don't. It's almost like he just bleeds the club.
Yeah,
Um, Handed the captaincy beginning of the season, and
yeah,
he's really just taken it and run.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yes,
you can see it on the pitch too. He's, I mean, we don't know what he's saying, but he's screaming at players. He's leading the team. He's going hard into tackles.
yeah,
He's putting his body out there. And I think when you see that as a player, you're gonna play harder.
Well, even for I think it was last season, for the last like 6 weeks of the season, going into the playoffs, I believe that he was playing with a protrusion on his left foot,
Mm.
just taking like painkillers and things to deal with it, just so he could carry on playing for the rest of the season.
And you're talking about a guy too that was in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
playing
I
with
don't know how much traction that really had,
yeah,
but it's there.
yeah,
There's notice, right? I mean, the Whitecaps aren't going to come out, start this campaign about an MVP candidate for a player that's utterly useless.
well, yeah. No, I agree.
Like, I mean, we saw it, right? Like, they fully go all in on him.
Yeah, I do think we're a couple of players away from being a top 3 team in the West. Like, I think that's all
Totally.
it
And
would
I
take.
mean, if we're looking at the standings now, we're fifth, 25th, 25 points, six behind LA for the third spot. But I mean, we've had this conversation before. It doesn't matter about the regular season, as brutal as that is to say.
Yeah,
Um, realistically, the only goal should be playoffs for the regular season.
yeah,
And then I think the non-negotiable should be the Canadian Championship.
yeah. Absolutely, I
We've
agree
got
with
an
that.
easy draw.
What is that? Forge or is that? Are we playing Forge or Pacific? It's Pacific in it.
Pacific.
Yeah,
Coming up in a couple weeks here. Maybe next
July.
month.
Yeah, July the
17th, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
You'd have to ask Sean.
He'll be there behind the net on TV.
But that should be a non-negotiable over two legs. Um, yeah. So I think Canadian Championship. And then what's really interesting, we're gonna have the League Cup. Or
Yeah,
the League Cup. I was gonna say Nations Cup, but that's not it.
is Club Tijuana coming to BC Place first, right? Is it Club
Yeah.
Tijuana? Yeah.
I
Are they
think
not
it's
one of the
LA.
big teams down there as well?
I should have done a little bit more research on this. I want to say Cavallini's there. He might have done a move
Lucas
recently.
Cavallini, eh?
It
I
might
know
have
that he
been
didn't get
recently.
selected for the Canadian team, though.
Cavallini.
Yeah.
Well, he got dropped, right? Canadian team.
Hmm.
And how do you start him over Tajon Buchanan, Jonathan David?
Yeah, I think you're right, Matt. I think he is playing for Tijuana.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure LA come to Vancouver, which that'll be a big game. Hugo Lloris, French
Yeah.
international.
Hugo Lloris on his 300,000 a year, not being a designated player.
I
Someone's paying him
mean,
again somewhere.
he's Spurs. What do you want?
Bottle job.
He'll always be Spurs. No
Yeah.
matter his international accolades, I'll always point to his domestic form.
Yeah. Yeah. What a curse.
And it'd be interesting to see because Giroud should be making his debut.
Because he should technically sign after the World Cup, because the window opens on July 18th, right? July 18th to August 17th, is it?
I thought, first of all, it was Euros. It threw me off for a minute, but
Yeah,
I
my
was like,
apologies.
oh, man's coming in 2026.
No, yeah, you're
They're
right.
going to be as clinical as ever. He should.
Yeah, when does it open? The
I
MLS.
thought the window was open in line with the Premier League. which would have been June 14th.
No, yeah, July. It's so the primary one is so long. It's January 31st until April 23rd,
Hmm.
which is ridiculous because you're so far into the season at that point, right? Like the
Well,
season kicks off
sorry,
again in
January to
January 31st, so basically 1st of February, all the way through to April 23rd.
yeah, and your kickoff is usually first week of March.
Yeah, it's usually around our birthday.
Yeah, first week of March. So that is quite long.
And then the secondary is July 18th to August 14th.
So they'll have them signed, you know, unveiled, do what they need to do.
Yeah,
And I wonder if they will make his debut in the League Cup, because that is an important tournament.
maybe. It's what Messi did, right? He signed, and then that was right in the middle of the League's Cup. And then he played, he basically was the highest goal scorer in the League's Cup
Yeah,
straight
and there
away.
was all that hype.
Yeah.
But they lost,
Yeah,
did
they
they
did
not?
to Nashville, did they not?
Nashville. So yeah, I think that is an important tournament. But as far as like, so two teams get through.
Yeah.
Tijuana, LA, Whitecaps.
It'll
Who
be a rough
blinks
one.
first?
What is nice, we don't need to go down to Club Tijuana and play down there. All the games are played up here, right? Like they're played in
Yeah.
Vancouver or LA.
And similar to last year, say the Whitecap, we do push for the Canadian Championship, secure Champions League football for next year. We saw Sartini get a little creative in the League Cup and come
Yeah.
out and say, hey, we've secured Champions League football. Our next target is the playoffs, and I'm going to try things. And it's a very good stage to try these things on.
Yeah.
But that being said, the mentality should be to win it all. And
Yeah.
tournament football's hard.
As well, if we get out of that group, if he wants to tinker and try new things while we are in the group there, the moment we are out of that group, if we get through, it like as much as it should be a priority right away, it should become a priority the moment we are out of the group, because then it's
I
winning.
agree.
Then it becomes a competition. We are in it to win it.
Yeah. No, totally. And we saw it last year. We go against Tigres. It just seems like they always have our number.
Yeah. Not it's annoying because it's never, considering they are one of the best teams in South America there. Not South America or North America, but one of the best teams in them like middle American like
Yeah.
countries. We handle them very well every time we play them.
It just seems like they always have that step on us.
Because Gignac scores an absolute screamer every time we play
Screamer.
them. Every single time. And every
Screamers.
time, it's the top corner, the top left-hand corner of the box, curling it into the fucking top right-hand corner of the net. And it's like, this is every single time we played him, he scores that goal. It's either a free kick or just in open play. It cuts inside, pings it.
Well, it's refreshing because first year we ever played Champions League, we have Davies coming up,
Yeah.
Kai Kamara
Yeah.
balling out, absolutely balling out,
Yeah.
and Tigres have our number. We lose at home, and we go to Mexico. Or no, we drew in Mexico. we come to Vancouver and they just batter us.
Yeah, you're right. Because did he not score 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we played them in
Well,
League Cup
we
last year
played them at Starlight, didn't we? Starlight Stadium.
for Champions League this year,
That right, that
which,
Champions League, yeah.
but we played them last year and it goes to 20 something penalties.
Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah, I
It just
remember
seemed
that.
like
That was
that was
crazy.
never going to end.
I remember, like, yeah, we were there, right? Yeah, I remember
Yep.
having that feeling of just, please,
Like,
dear
please,
God, somebody miss. Like, at this point, we've been here, it's now like 10:45 at night.
please
The
end
game
it.
was meant to end, like, an hour and 10 minutes ago. Please, somebody just miss the fucking net.
So we fall victim in that as much as we wanted to go home and don't care about the result at that point. I mean, you can only watch so many penalties.
Yeah,
20 penalties. Like keepers were kicking.
yeah.
Um, you've got their keeper trying to do his best.
Doing magic
Martinez
tricks.
and Precious. Yeah, doing magic trick.
Pulling things out of bottles and pulling things out of his nose. It was, yeah, crazy. The fact that he
And
didn't get
then,
booked for any of that as well is
well, he
wild.
does get booked, but what does it matter? You can't
Oh,
make, like, what are you going to do?
mate, you can't get booked if he can make the cards disappear.
Well, that's true. And then what? We have them this year, poorly scheduled.
The, that's something that we'll touch on further down the line, I think. Like the whole BC place and the whole not owning the stadium. That's
I mean,
wild.
it's all rumors, but the reports were that Tigres weren't willing to reschedule. That the draw was the draw, and if we couldn't make it work, that was it. There was no flexibility from their end.
You know,
Which,
next time they do something like that, if they say, yeah, there's no flexibility, they should look for somewhere in the Yukon
yeah.
and just freeze them.
Well, do you remember qualifying for the World Cup,
Oh, yeah, in
the
Edmonton.
Canadian game? I mean, that's what you should do, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. They always have our number. And there's someone, because of the way the League Cup is, it's the West qualifies, on their own side of the draw.
Yeah.
So it is a team, if we do, or I should say if, when we get out of the group stages, that's probably coming our way.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, LA are going to be strong, tough. It's always a good game.
Yeah.
I feel, I mean, maybe this is one-sided, but I do feel like there's a little rivalry with LAFC starting.
Yeah.
I
I think
don't think it's as big as Cascadia,
no.
but there's something there.
I think when you look at the team, like you look at Seattle, you look at Portland, they, especially in the last few years, they have kind of fell off a little bit. So I think the whole rivalry with LA is the fact that the Whitecaps have got better year on year. LA are a very good team anyway, so we're probably the closest thing to LA for us anyway. I know LA have got like LAFC and LA Galaxy down there that
Yeah,
you can
you've
have
got
the
your
rivalry. You're going to
El
get San
Tráfico,
Diego.
they call it.
Like there's going to be a cluster of 4 clubs very, very close together down there in the next few years.
San Diego,
Yeah,
they're coming.
500 million it costs for them to join the league. The Whitecaps, it was 40 million. The Inter Miami,
It'll be nice because now the conferences are balanced. 15-15. Right
Inter,
now I'm just looking 15 in the East, 14 in the West.
have a look, Matt, and have a look how much Inter Miami's expansion cost was. I think that was 25 million because Beckham had it signed into his contract all them years
I
ago.
thought that was the part of it,
Yeah,
but I mean,
I know the Whitecaps. The Whitecaps when they were founded was 40.
yeah, 25 million for
That's
Inter
nuts.
Miami. Crazy.
Considering that San Diego have just had to pay 500 million. Even LAFC was 110 million.
And I think, I mean, credit to where it's due. Messi coming to the league put some spotlights on it. This
And
isn't Pirlo way past his prime.
yeah, this is a
This
Ballon
isn't,
d'Or winner.
yeah,
The current Ballon d'Or holder playing in America.
crazy.
Yeah,
And
wild.
depending on Copa America, there might be an argument.
No, mate, it can't be again. No,
Why
no, no,
not?
no. It's honestly they've got to pick a Real Madrid player. Whoever wins the Euros, if they're a Real Madrid player, they've got to get it. Winning the La Liga, the Champions League, and the Euros in 1 year.
Yeah,
That's
I
got
mean,
to be more than the Copper and the fucking MLS.
12 goals, 13 assists, Copa America. Who knows?
Yeah, but
How
that's
does
like
he do
saying
in the
Ronaldo's
tournament?
got 45 goals in Saudi Arabia. Give it to him. If Portugal, that's like saying if Portugal win the Euros, do you give it to
Well, and I
Ronaldo?
think we've had this discussion too. What a drop off this has been, um, in terms of goal scoring in Europe.
Yeah.
But
So let me ask you that then, Matt. So now in the Copper, let's say Messi bags in what it's about 7 games to the final, 8 games to the final, right? So let's say they get all the way through to the final. He bags 14 goals in 8 games and literally carries Argentina all the way to the final. Then you've got to start looking at it, right? But in the same respect, if Ronaldo does the same thing for Portugal, carries them through like that, surely that needs to be looked at as well.
well, he's
Also,
not going to have my boy Enzo Fernandez out there throwing dimes.
nah, but he's got my boy Bruno. My 2 boys, Bruno and Dallo, mate. 3 boys, Bruno, Dallo, and Joe Neves when he signs.
You can't say that because I remember Sunday, 85th minute, standing there clapping, being like, here's the most exhilarating 4 minutes of the match. On comes Kobe Mano.
Yeah, stand by. He's the greatest midfielder ever born.
Ugh, the
He's like
hatred for Jude Bellingham runs strong.
Manu is like a young Pirlo. Like the way he holds the ball up, it's very like similar to Pirlo, like with the ball at his feet. It's incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, I was gonna say like reactions from the England game. Mano looks good.
All the Euros, man. What happened today? Ukraine lost against Romania 3-0. In fact, I had a
Yeah,
bet on today. I'll be honest, I had a bet on I had Ukraine to win. I had Belgium to win against Slovakia and France.
yeah, that was a
France,
shock.
France won by an
Um,
own goal. Mbappe got his nose broke.
France also come off a 0-0 draw against Canada. I'm just gonna plug that.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Mbappe broke a nose. Early reports are saying surgery, no surgery. He's gonna have to play with the carbon fiber mask.
yeah. Yeah, because that must
Um,
affect your breathing, that like your circulation and everything. Like if your nose
I
is
think it's
plugged
a
in your
comfort thing too.
yeah, yeah.
If you're not used to it, it's it's uncomfortable, right?
And like there's no way like you will always see it out of the corner of your eye a little bit.
Yeah, as much as you wanna say, oh, it's not gonna affect your peripheral vision, it's gonna.
Like who's it?
Any
Son?
change in equipment.
Like Son for Spurs when he had it on, he struggled. He came out and said, I'm struggling to play with this on. He said it always looks like somebody is coming over my shoulder.
That being said, France are going to be okay.
Yeah.
Um, you've got the best looking guy in football, Olivier Giroud.
Yeah, I'll give him that. Fair enough.
Arguably a Chelsea legend. Won the Europa with them, led them to the Europa.
Wait, who are we talking about here?
Giroud.
I thought you were talking about Jorginho. Oh no, he's Italian, isn't he? What an
He's
idiot. Oh my
Italian.
God. Mind slip
France are
there.
going to be okay though. They look good. Griezmann played really well. I just don't think the finishing was there. Mbappe clear one-on-one with the keeper, puts it wide. Is
Yeah.
what it is, right? You get the results. It's tournament football. First game of the
Yeah.
tournament. I mean, saying an argument for England, first game of the tournament. It's you don't have the team. You have all these friendlies scheduled up to this point. It's different when those lights come on and this game counts.
Well, we just got beat off Iceland in a friendly. So going into a game versus Serbia, who were obviously ranked higher than Iceland, yeah, we probably did well to beat them. Congrats
Yeah,
on under Gareth Southgate's management, we did well to beat Serbia.
subs were on point. I think Foden on the left might not be the way to go.
No, I don't
Um,
think so.
he plays really well in Guardiola's system, where they're rotating through with Silva, De Bruyne, Doku.
Yeah.
The options are there. Um, Bowen looked good. I hate to say it. You need a disruptive player, an unorthodox winger. And I feel that's where Bowen kind of shines because do you remember would have been 2016 Euro Jamie Vardy left on the bench?
Yeah, for most of the tournament. I don't think he got on the pitch, did he?
And I think that's a sub you need to make because you need that disruptiveness, unorthodox. What is he going to do? Bowen fits that for me at least.
Yeah.
Um, Kane will be okay. No service. Should have finished the header.
That was a
Hits the
good save.
bar. Unlucky. Um, for me though, Trent.
That midfielder role, man. I don't think that he holds a midfield role. I don't know. For Liverpool, he seems to be able to pull it off sometimes, but maybe that's because he's used to playing with the players around him who can bail him out when he is caught out of position.
So I
Wonderful,
read
right?
this earlier. I hate to say that this is my thought, but it actually was true. That Trent's biggest problem with defending is his awareness. Who's behind him? What when he picks up the ball, is he looking around? Is he constantly scanning the field? And that transferred over to him playing in midfield.
Yeah.
Same issues. Yes, with the ball at his feet, fantastic passing. His crosses were there, set pieces were there. Um, but yeah, not he's just gonna get cooked, especially if we go up against,
An
you
actual
know,
team.
an actual team. Denmark will serve as a good checkpoint of where we're at.
Yeah.
Um, three
Germany.
points against Denmark. 6 points, you're through.
Yeah. Even
Third
I
game,
think
I
in this
think.
group, 4 points gets us through. Just because I think who's it? I think there's another draw between in that group there's another draw for the other teams.
Yeah.
England will I think 4 points will be enough.
4 points would be enough.
2 teams go
6
through,
for sure.
right?
6 for sure. Gary Lineker comes out and says this was a game for Cole Palmer. Someone to kind of calm the game down, take control, and he brings on Connor Gallagher.
Yeah. Who's a little bit erratic at the best of times.
And that was completely shown.
Yeah.
That being said, he was winning balls, attacking the ball, doing what he does for Chelsea.
Yeah.
But that's not what that's not how the game should have been seen out, I feel.
Yeah.
But
I think
Kobe Mainu comes on.
I can't even praise him enough. I really,
6
really
minutes of
love this kid.
excellency.
Honest to God, I'd give him the keys to my house, the keys to my car. He can have it all.
6
he is going
points.
all the way.
We're through. Does he start the third game?
In that case, if we are through, it's done and dusted. 6 points would top the group regardless of the result in the final game. I think you go with Watkins up front, rest Harry Kane, Mainu in the midfield. I think you've got to keep Rice in there just because you need somebody who's more defensive minded.
I mean, he looked world class too.
Yeah, probably Palmer.
He looked like West Ham Declan Rice.
Yeah,
you know what? Solid defensively. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put Palmer in for Bellingham, Bowen in for Foden, and maybe either have Bowen play on the left or get Saka to play on the left.
Saka won't play on the left.
Maybe get Bowen too. I think Bowen would go on the left. I think Bowen is at the point
he is that disruptive, unorthodox winger. But that being said, you have Anthony Gordon. I don't rate him too highly, but
yeah, I forgot about him actually.
Pardon?
I forgot about Gordon. I forgot that he was there.
He's there. Yeah. I don't rate him too highly. He's been very good for Newcastle. I mean, there's so much talent.
Yeah.
That on paper this should be done.
Honestly, man, I've said this many times and I stand by it, and I genuinely think it with a better manager, we would have already had a World Cup and a European trophy.
Yeah, the last Euros is a tough pill. Penalties, right?
Even still, man, a better manager, we are a World Cup and a European trophy better off.
Yeah,
I really think Gareth Southgate is up there with Arsene Wenger as the master of failure.
I mean, at the end of the day, two penalties missed by United kids.
Yeah, but being sent on in the what?
No, I agree.
You've not kicked a ball. Sancho hadn't kicked a ball for 90% of that tournament, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, go on and can take a penalty." Sancho
at the most crucial time, most highest pressure. It's tough. I do agree, actually, that you could put him up there with Wenger as masterclass of failure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really early to start coming out against him after one game.
Oh, mine's after the last 3 tournaments.
Aside from that, aside from that, I mean, World Cup you're drawn against the eventual runner-ups. That's a tough
Yeah,
game.
was that the Croatia one when
That would
Kieran
have
Trippier
been
scored
the
the free
no
kick?
France, England. Was it quarters last year or semis?
Semis, yeah,
Semis. Yeah,
because
that's a
they
tough
did
game.
semis final semis.
Yeah, that's a tough game. I mean,
Oh yeah, we did lose against. So we've lost. We lost twice in the semi-finals against a team that lost in the final.
Croatia would have been 2018 Russia.
Yeah,
Um,
the
that really
Euros
was
2021.
the first, I mean, real momentum of this eventual team kind of coming alive.
Yeah,
2021, right? Because COVID year,
yeah,
lost in the finals. 2024 World Cup, lost in the semis.
no 22 World Cup.
Yeah, sorry,
It's
2022.
mate, that Euros being off by a year like
Throws you
screws
off.
everything up when you're doing it.
It throws you off.
Yeah,
And now here we are. Should be through group stage.
yeah,
I don't know what all these hypothetical draws look like. Realistically, it doesn't matter until it happens,
yeah.
but who knows?
And let's be honest, it shouldn't matter who you're drawn against because if you're gonna win the cup, you've got to be able to beat anyone. Is the
You
thing.
got to beat the best.
Yeah,
You don't want an easy draw. I mean, you do and you don't, but you want to beat the best. I think that's something you've always said too about these tournament footballs, regardless if it's domestic, international. You want to beat the best.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Whether that means Real Madrid, France, it doesn't matter. You should be able to beat the best
Yeah,
because at some point you're probably going to have to play that caliber of a team.
yeah, no, absolutely. So go on, then. Who just first team that comes to your head? Who do you think will win the Euros?
I mean, we're done one round of matches, right?
Yeah,
Portugal go tomorrow. Turkey and Georgia, they're on the morning game, night or afternoon game, whatever. I like Spain. They
fair.
played really well. Lamine Yamal is gonna ball the fuck out. Pedri's passing looked really good. The biggest money laundering scam in the world of Alvaro Morata. He looks good.
You've got
Yeah,
Rodri booting players on the
Rodri.
goal line, getting yellow
You
carded, not red carded.
know who else looked really good? Was Carvel.
Oh fuck yeah! Like
He
what an
looks good.
underrated player,
His form from the Champions League final has carried over.
man. He just
Um,
seems to go about his business quietly.
yeah,
Not many people really know that he's there, and then he just puts in like absolutely solid performance after solid performance.
his first international goal too.
Yeah,
Deck the
that's
boot
crazy.
out, gets it in.
Yeah, what a
And
player.
they played Croatia, which, okay, there's always been this thing. Croatian midfield is one of the best in the world. Yes, Modric has the Ballon d'Or. Fantastic midfielder. They just look to step off.
He's
That
also
being said,
38.
last World Cup, Croatia looked really good. They topped the group, right?
Yeah.
They smashed Belgium, who apparently are everybody's doormat. Um,
Yeah.
smashed Canada. John Herdman, manager at the time, comes out,
Yeah.
says, "Oh, we're gonna smash Croatia." Apparently, they took that personally. Thumped Canada and
Yeah.
Morocco, who were in really, really good form
Yeah, they were, weren't
last
they?
tournament.
Like, they were like one of the teams to watch.
So, I mean, it's early to say. I do think Spain look really good. They look to be firing. Um, I think England are in the conversation. Depending on this Mbappe injury, who knows?
Yeah, I still think France should have enough to put on a like even without Mbappe. I still think they should have enough to have a good tournament regardless of Mbappe being there.
Yeah,
Like the players that they've got. My team, I think that's going to win it. Like honestly, Portugal. I think
Ronnie's
that
last dance.
I don't think it's going to be his last dance either, mate. I think
I
he's
don't
got
think so
another four
either.
years in him. I don't think he's going to stay in Saudi Arabia. I think he's going to go somewhere else.
I definitely think he goes back to Sporting.
Do you know where?
Um,
Korea.
I could see him in 2026 World Cup.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the options offered to him from the Saudi side were just too good to pass up.
273 million a year. Yeah, like
And we're not talking the extras, right? What's he gonna get from brand awareness, sponsorship?
yeah, yeah,
It's it's a lot of money to pass up.
yeah. 39 years old it is for sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
41 at the World Cup,
yeah.
42 depending. I could see it.
Well, see, mate, look at who's it? Pepe. Pepe's 41 and he's still playing like first choice centre back for Portugal. 41 years old.
Yeah, and I mean that's another. That's just a player that plays for the badge, no matter where he is.
Yeah,
He'll die on his sword, and I think it's funny because when you watch him play for Portugal, he loves getting up in people's faces when they come after Ronnie.
yeah, yeah. He does. Even from Real Madrid as
He
well.
l- he loves being that like Sergio Ramos-esque person
Yeah,
to just blow a gasket.
yeah. No, I think you're
But
right.
I don't know. I think we'll know more next week. Let's let the second round of matches go. Was Spain a fluke? Are Portugal going to flop? Like, is France going to be able to deal with this injury? Um, Conte looked unreal today, though.
Did it?
Man has not missed a beat. He wins man of the match,
I wondered
which
if they'd still
is,
take him.
pardon it?
I wondered if they'd still take him.
What do you mean?
Like with him playing in Saudi Arabia now, I didn't know if they'd like take him to the Euros.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I weren't expecting it though. I thought like with him playing in Saudi Arabia,
Oh,
they'd been like, you know what,
sorry,
you've
I
got
missed
Saudi
that.
Arabia. Yeah, like
So he is the second player for France to be called up playing outside of Europe. Um, and there was reports that Deschamps took him based on his fitness because he was injured all last year at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Um, so Deschamps obviously saw enough of him in Saudi. Comes in today, puts in a man of the match performance, tracks back on defense to steal arguably the tying goal. Um, and I think reaffirms that age-old motto of the world is covered 98% by water and 2% by N'Golo Kante. Like that's how much he was just everywhere today.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we'll see though. We've got another week of matches, and then I think we'll have a better picture.
Yeah.
That being said, Germany look really good.
They do, but
I
who
know
are they
it's
playing?
Scotland.
Scotland with a 10 men Scotland as well.
I mean, they probably got so bored. That's why that's why Rudiger scored an own goal.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe, mate.
I
But yeah,
know it's Scotland, 5-1. They've got the home crowd behind them.
yeah. They might, who knows, they might win it, but yeah, with it being on home soil, they might just do it.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting because tomorrow's Turkey, Georgia, Portugal. Oh, Portugal played Czech Republic. Czech Republic.
That should be a good game.
It's could be tricky.
Yeah.
I'm finding that, like, I mean, Belgium looked dreadful today. Lukaku with 2 goals ruled offside. Sorry. First goal was offside. Second goal, there was a handball in the build-up.
Yeah.
Um, not really helping his transfer price that Chelsea are looking to get for him.
Well, yeah. Fucking LA.
But yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting. We've got match day 2 of Euros, MLS,
Yeah. And the Whitecaps play
and
on Saturday, is it?
Saturday in Portland, the old
Yeah.
I-5 trip down south. So
Yeah.
it's a big Cascadia game. Portland are without Kamal Miller, Maxime Crepeau. I think realistically this is 3 points.
It should be.
It
Oh,
should be.
man, I've just read a report here. It says Kylian Mbappe avoids the need for surgery and is in line for an imminent return.
There we go. He's gonna put
Yeah.
on the Ninja Turtles mask.
Yeah.
That's what I think he should do. He should come out with like the blue Ninja Turtles themed mask.
Just bandana.
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
Kylian Mbappe has the headband on. Just totally lean into it.
It's what who's it said,
Show
didn't
up
they?
on.
Kaifa Turam in the press
Yeah.
conference. He went, "Oh, Mbappe," and he was like, "No, no, no, I'm not Mbappe. I don't look like a turtle." So, oh, well, there you go.
So it'll be good. Good. We've got lots of football ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, big Cascadia game. 3 points. Portland are actually they've got the most to gain sitting on 21 points. So they could potentially be up into a playoff spot
Yeah.
with depending on results. And we win 3 points. We go from 5th to 5th.
Yeah. Awesome. Do we know? Wait, do we? What are Minnesota on though? above us there.
29 points.
So they're 4 away, are they?
Yeah.
God. Hey.
So realistically, 3 points kind of keeps pace with Minnesota, depending their result. But Portland definitely have more to gain in terms of position they're sat right now.
Yeah. Man, we went from like the best defense in the league to nowhere near there in one game. That's crazy.
It just kind of happened. It's almost like we lost a beat and teams saw that and pounced.
I'm just going to put it down to the traveling.
I mean, that's what I think we'll put it down to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
That
so.
being said, we were very good on the road. And we were vulnerable at BC Place.
Yeah. Yeah. We do have a
Um,
game in hand on LA Galaxy as well, which is
sat
quite
on
nice. So,
31 points.
yeah.
And it's kind of nice because everyone below us doesn't have that game in hand.
Yeah.
Um, Houston, Houston have it. St. Louis have it.
Like the three after that, like they're realistically there. St. Louis, they're quite far away there, right? They're 7 points off.
Yeah.
So at the moment, it's not even like a worry for them.
I mean, not yet. It
Not
depends
yet.
how our
Yeah.
form is.
We'll see. We've got them after Portland as well.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's realistically that should be a 6 point swing.
Yeah.
I take a point away at Portland. I think that St. Louis game is got to be 3 points.
Yeah. I think they were good last year. I think all the expansion teams seem to like do okay in the first year. They've got that buzz about them as well that just lifts them. It's like when
And then they
the
kind of
Golden
level
Knights did
out.
well.
Yeah, like look at Cincinnati. They went from top of the table.
Yeah.
That being said, they're in second. Austin came out pretty well. They're now in eighth. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is it's probably the most important part of our season.
Yeah, I think so, Matt.
It's the trickiest to navigate. And then you're going to come into the League Cup and you're going to come into the Canadian Championship and the form has to be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has to. Like,
Yeah.
this is where we can make the season or we can, kind of go for bust.
Yeah. I agree.
But yeah, I think we'll end it there. And we'll just leave it at that.
All right.